Good morning and welcome to episode number 358 of Simply Flying Live with me, Shashank. I'm your host and the CEO of Simply Flying. Imagine you are in a plane and the plane's landing and it's taxiing to gate and you hear a nice soothing boarding music or departure music at this point. Imagine then next time you're flying the same airline and you're boarding and you hear the nice same music again. But imagine doing that 10 times a month or 15 times a month as frequent flyers do. And now what if you're a musician, you're about to go play on a large stage and you hear the soothing music that puts you in a very somber mood and you have to crank the crowd up and you're in a different mood. That's exactly what happened with T-Pain, who's a rapper quite famous for Buy You a Drank song. Go Google it or YouTube it. And he was traveling on Delta Airlines. And he said, Delta, your boarding music and taxiing music is so boring and so melodramatic that listening to Adele just puts me in a very somber mood. How am I supposed to go play and perform in front of a large crowd after this? Delta took this in a stride and they said, you know what? A boarding music and taxiing music is supposed to keep you in a relaxed state. Imagine what would happen if Buy You a Drank played and everyone starts clapping and jumping around during taxi. Point made. That's where the Twitter engagement sort of ended because T-Pain then said, alright, fair enough, you have a point. That's where it could have ended. It was all fine. But then Delta knew that he flies them often. So the next time he flew, guess what they did? They actually blasted his song, Buy You a Drank, on the PA system. They changed the boarding music when he was on a flight, playing his own song. And he, of course, was laughing like a little girl, as he said on his next tweet. And this became a very positive conversation in which T-Pain was, of course, becoming a Delta brand ambassador and a big fan. Now, the thing is, there are two things here. One is, it's important for an airline to act human, to be human, rather than be very corporate. They could have issued a press statement or a standard form letter reply saying this is why a boarding music is needed and this is why it cannot be changed. But they said, you know what? We will go one up, not only just share why we play certain kind of music, but we will actually play your song the next time you fly with us. How cool is that? You know, you think corporates never change, but then they did, and that's the key. The other point is the fact about boarding music. Many airlines don't have any type of boarding music. Some do, and those are not necessarily the most, let's say, invigorating. But then there are airlines which have boarding music, and then there are airlines that have really good boarding music. Delta does have decent boarding music. There are others like Singapore Airlines, Emirates, Qatar, which really focus a lot. I believe Qatar previously had local musicians like Etihad did, playing local music in an international style as well. A previous episode I did with David Meerman Scott of Simply Flying Live talked and discussed in depth the importance of sonic branding and how a subtle music will drive affinity towards a brand. That's exactly what Delta has done, just on steroids. I'll share the link in my show notes to the original tweets. Go check out Buy You a Drank, as well as the original interview I did with David Meerman Scott on sonic branding if you're interested. Meanwhile, I'd love for you to share two things. One, your favorite airline boarding music, and second, if an airline has ever changed something for you on this larger scale, even if you're not a celebrity. Let me know your thoughts on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, or YouTube. Meanwhile, you guys have a fantastic day, and I will catch you tomorrow. Till then, have a great one. Bye-bye.